down, shut me out when I needed you. Oh, oh, I'm gonna burn this bridge. I ain't never coming back. No, I ain't never coming back. No, no, no. That girl you know is gone. You can see it in the past. Oh, I ain't never coming back. No, no, no. You lit this fire in me because you never believed that there was fire in me. Now you can't put it out. I'm gonna burn this bridge. I ain't never coming back. No, I ain't never coming back. No, no, no.
Are we ready to get this party started? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right, so here we go. So, welcome to the world of marketing. Welcome back. What we're gonna do right now is just gonna take a couple of minutes to review some of the key aspects of the syllabus. Everybody has a copy of the syllabus with them, so take that out. All right, so on the first page of the syllabus, you have my contact information. You already realize that I know how to use email. By now, you probably have gotten quite a few emails from me. Is there anybody here who hasn't gotten email from me so far this semester? Is there anybody here who wishes they haven't gotten email from me so far this semester? All right, so I send emails to help keep us on track, to remind you about key due dates, but everything is in the syllabus. So the syllabus that you have before you, this 10-page syllabus, is our roadmap. This is our roadmap for success. So you already have the textbook. We're using the 10th edition. Remember I told you we're using the 10th edition instead of the 12th edition because I don't have the 12th edition, right? Wrong! I have the 12th edition. Anybody want to see what the 12th edition looks like? This, party people, is the 12th edition. But the reason we're using the 10th edition is so that you can save $200. Turn to your neighbor and say, $200. $200. So we're using the 10th edition so that you can save $200. Normally this book is $225. You should have been able to get the book for less than $20. Most students have told me that they pay less for the book than they do for the postage. But now that we're in week 6, hopefully everybody has the textbook. So that's the textbook that we're using. I'll let you know more about the simulation that we're going to do, the new shoes simulation. So you're going to have the opportunity to manage a business. That's something that you could put on your resume because you're going to be managing this virtual business. And you're going to every week make decisions about how much money to spend on advertising, how much money to spend on promotions, how many Salesforce people to hire, for example, how much to allow for coupons, and how much you're going to invest in product development. And after you enter your decisions, what the simulation is going to do is tell you your level of sales, the number of units that you sold, the dollar amount of sales, your gross margin, your net income, your market share. So it's a very realistic simulation. I've used this before. It's going to give you hands-on practical experience in marketing. So your inputs, your decisions about how much to spend on advertising, how much to spend on promotions, how much to spend on a sales force organization is going to have an impact on the level of sales. So everybody's not going to get the same level of sales. Don't think, oh, whatever I put in there, my sales is going to be the same. No, it's not. You're not going to have the same level of sales. You're not going to have the same number of units sold. You're not going to have the same gross margin. You're not going to have the same level of net income. And your market share is not going to be the same. So this is a terrific and very sophisticated simulation that's going to interpret your decisions.
What's the name of the simulation again?
New Shoes. It's called New Shoes. It's on the front of our syllabus, right underneath the textbook. I'm going to have to send you, before you can access it, I have to send you our course code. So it's unique to our class, because I'm going to be able to track your results. So I'll be able to log in. You won't be able to see the decisions of other people on our team, which, by the way, we have 125 students on our team. 125. So you won't be able to see their decisions and their performance, but I will. So you're part of my executive team. I'm the president of the company, and you guys are the vice presidents. So I need to decide. By the way, the prior management team was fired. Yep. They were fired. So now I hired this team to manage our shoe business. And what I'm looking at in terms of performance is who on our team is going to have the best performance? Who's going to have the highest level of sales? Who's going to have the most profitable business? Because I need to pick somebody who's going to succeed me. So I want to retire. Hello. I want to retire, so I need to know that there's somebody on our team that's going to be able to replace me when I retire. So I'm looking very carefully at the performance. And there's a really easy to use interface that I'm able to access that could let me see your performance at a glance for every student on our team. So that's going to be really, I think, meaningful, but also I think it's going to be fun. Because there's going to be a little bit of trial and error. So your decisions are going to carry over from week to week. So if you didn't spend enough money last week on advertising, then this week you're going to have a chance to increase the amount of money you spent on advertising. So it remembers your prior decisions. So it's cumulative. But right now you can't access it because, again, I have to give you our course code, a unique course code for our team. So you know that we're having an exam on the 13th, and I'm expecting that everybody here is going to get 100. Anybody here want to get 100? Raise your hand. If you want to get 100, raise your hand. Almost all of you raised your hand. Almost all of you. Wow. And I'm here to tell you, you can do it. Yes, you can. You can get 100. Studying helps, but I believe that you could do it. All right, on page 3, On page 3 is a list of our assignments. So basically, going forward, there's an assignment due every Tuesday. Technology, you gotta love it. All right, but you guys have it. So on page 3 is our semester at a glance, the entire semester. So before you even registered for the class, I already had a plan for your success. Because your success is my #1 priority. Right?
Right.
So there's a plan. Every Tuesday we have an assignment. And every week we're doing a case study analysis. That's going to help you remember the key concepts in the course. You may not remember all the definitions and all the key terms at the end of the semester, or a year from now or 2 years from now, but I really do believe that you'll remember the BMW case and the Prince case. And what's important is to develop your critical thinking skills. So one of the learning goals for every course in the School of Business is to develop the students' critical thinking skills. So that whatever problem you face in business, you'll be able to solve. Because you have strong critical thinking skills. And strong written communication skills. Another important learning goal is to build the ethical awareness. A learning goal for every School of Business course is for students to enhance their ethical awareness, their ethical reasoning. So that's the focus of some of our research that we're doing this semester, is about ethics. Ethics and the consequences of unethical behavior. We already completed a questionnaire about the financial crisis of 2008. Is that right? And why is that important? Because that's a great example of the consequences of unethical behavior. So, you might say, Coach, this is not a finance course. Well, you're right. That's insightful. Our course is a course in marketing. Keep in mind that very often the metrics that are used to measure the performance of marketing executives are financial. How do we know if a marketing executive is doing a good job? Well, we look at the dollar sales that they were able to generate, the number of units they were able to sell, the gross margin for their strategic business unit, the net income for their strategic business unit. All of those are financial metrics. Now what we found is that unethical and illegal behavior on the part of executives resulted in the global financial crisis. So, ethics, I had encouraged you last time not to think of ethics as something that is academic, theoretical, philosophical. Ethics is not something that's philosophical. Unethical behavior has real consequences. A global financial crisis. Why? Why did we experience a global financial crisis? Who could tell us?
The banks collapsed.
Why did the banks collapse?
They were loaning everything.
They were loaning a lot of money and
Taking a huge risk.
they were taking a lot of risk.
Lack of regulation.
There was lack of regulation in many cases, so there was no one checking what they were doing. Unethical behavior! I really think it's very likely that she might get an A in this class. Marissa? Very likely. Unethical behavior has consequences. So I know you always hear about ethics. We talk about ethics in every class, right? but it's important. Please don't think of it as something that's philosophical. Sure, there's philosophical aspects of ethics, but there's real consequences. Millions of people in the US lost their home because of unethical behavior on the part of executives. The economy, the entire US economy was at the brink of failure because of unethical and illegal behavior on the part of executives. So the consequences are real. All right, on the bottom of page 4, and this was in the email that I sent you, at the bottom of page 4, you could see what do you see there? The requirements when we're taking the exam. You have to bring photo ID, bring several number 2 pencils with erasers. I don't want you to double guess yourself, but it's a good idea to bring an eraser. You might change your mind. And there's going to be 4 different versions of the exam. Pink, blue, green, yellow. You know I have to do that, right? Why? Because of unethical behavior on the part of students. Right? So I have to have 4 different versions of the exam. You can't use any electronics during the exam. So you have to turn your phone completely off. No texting during the exam. I know that's a bizarre requirement. No texting during the exam. You can't leave the room during the exam. You can't talk during the exam. I know, I'm pushing my luck here, right? And you can't use any notes or books during the exam. All right. So we're in good shape. Seriously? No way. No way. Why'd you pull the alarm for? I know one of you did that. We'll see when security comes. More than likely. All right, make sure you come back. Because I didn't take attendance yet. We're coming back. Make sure you come back. The party's not over.
Video.
He's like, just in case.
Yeah, just in case. No, I'm not going to participate in that unethical behavior of taking
Stuff like this you can't make up.